저 멀리 수평선에 끝에 펼쳐진 것은 분명 닿을 수 없는 절벽일 거라면 Blue demon, lonely behind the horizon, and the sunlight of her head. 이리 오래 속삭이며 손짓하는 희망은 나를 위한 걸 거야. 안다요 우린 집을 물결이여 부디 오늘까지 나에게
Let's go ahead and get started here. Let's get started.
New tunes. Critical theory zone burst to zero. Prime time.
I just want a quick warm up and then we'll just go dig for stuff. I'll probably need to pull up PIU tracker, see what I need left to do. I'm definitely not going for FA3. I am not in the mood for that. It's like 1 or 2 grades. Not a big deal.
Absolutely perfect.
It's about what I expected. I won't blow one up.
Next stage.
There's nothing like really hard about it. Pull up the PIU tracker. What do we have left to do here? Let's go look at 20s. I probably have really annoying 20s left. Come on, load. Dang it, load.
You guys are doodles.
Yeah, that's not happening today. Break down. like a ton of 20s want to do. It's quite a bit. Okay. Yeah, let's just
Right.
focus on these guys.
Remix song.
Because here's something I don't play that often. Length. There, I've technically made it a 7-panel chart. I almost screwed up the last 100 BPM section twice. So I'll take what I get.
Absolutely perfect! Wow! New record!
Funny enough, I don't think I actually have a video of this one. So, there's one for the road.
Next stage.
I don't think I have a video single. I might, but it would be very old, so. I still have 2 freaking fulls to do, so I'm gonna leave those.
Stage 2.
Surprisingly, I have one that I probably should have done a long time ago. There's Energy Synergy Matrix. I'm actually surprised I don't have this one yet. Well, that would explain why. Silly me. Silly me.
Hey, why don't you just get up and dance, man?
My brain. Yeah, but my brain also wants to really use my third foot right now.
Game over.
It's trying. It's really trying to use the third foot. That's Rise Brain in action right now. Oh, I'm playing 5 key. I must use my middle finger on both. Or my index on both.
Stage 2. Online action.
I mean, it happens when you're playing 5 keys. I wouldn't be surprised if it's just like rolling brackets as well. So we're gonna see what happens. SM. Have to not screw up that one turn.
Absolutely perfect!
So the left rolling bracket is the last one in the whole turn, and then after that it's free. Just have to turn. way of that. So probably just honestly want to use more toes. That's my fault.
Hey,
Yeah,
is this
that's
really
fine.
your best?
Come on, Zila. You just turned at 160 or whatever. Ain't that hard. Shouldn't be that hard. Wow, that was so many greats.
Hey, is this really your best?
That was a lot of greats. Come on. attempts, but hey, it's done.
Absolutely perfect! Wow! New record!
That should have been done last week, guys. That's unfortunate. Whatever. Moving on. We're just gonna keep winning all stuff.
Game over!
Give me a second, I'm gonna check something out. So I've got something I need to check real quick. Let's move on. What's next? I guess we'll get another full out one. What are we still need? We can either take full moon single or Papacito double. I think I want short. I think I want full moon first. I don't really want to deal with Papacito right now. Yeah. Well, I have enough. If I can manage to get both of them back to back, that'd be great.
New series! Oh, cool!
Full moon first. Alright. It's only three-ish minutes. Shouldn't be that bad. And if I do poorly, I can just blame Eric, like I always do. With love.
조금씩 같이 걸으면 어디에서도 함께일 수 있겠지. 잠시 동안 곁에 머물러봐. 너의 따스함이 남아서 밤새고 잠들 수 없는 걸. 살며시 다가가 말해주고 싶은 건 우리 곁에 셀 수도 없이 많은 그 비밀. 자리가 알고 있는 달빛 그 안에 이렇게 심장이 멈출 때까지 꼭 기억할게 날 시간 갈수 있게 날 꿈에서 그려내 beautiful 너와 나 약속해 난 언제까지나 나만의 달빛이 돼줄게 이 세상
That was awkward because I have one sticky foot and then one very slippery foot. And it wasn't even intentional.
조금 더 다가가고 싶은 걸 귓가에 말해줘 너의 그 목소리로 우리들만의 말할 수 없이 더 많은 비밀 꼭 기억할게 날 시간 갈수 있게 날 꿈에서 그려내 beautiful 너와 나 약속해 난 언제까지나 나만의 달빛이 돼줄게 이 세상
Yeah, there's definitely powder on the pad. My left foot keeps getting slippery. One more minute.
밤하늘에 저 달빛이 깊게 잠들어도 너의 손을 놓지 않을게
stream. Okay, good to be rid of that in one shy.
Absolutely perfect! Next stage.
We'll do the other one. Speed down. Just need to give myself some time to think. What's up, Doc? How you doing, sir? Hope you've been good since midsummer. I heard that event went very well. Watch for 16s. Now I get to sit through the whole thing again. Welcome in.
Absolutely perfect!
That needs to be fixed. We'll fix that in a second. I guess sure. Like I'm glad you had fun, but
Next
I don't really take a whole lot of pride in most of my step charts these days. So it's like, if you have fun, then you have fun. Yeah, that's what I heard. But considering everything, it went fine enough. As long as you can like somewhat finish, that's about as good as you can get at live events, especially here in the U.S. Because there's a lot of logistics and things that happen that just makes it hard to actually finish an event. What's up, Regen? I will fix this in just a second here. Oh yeah. Okay, so we'll talk about Infinity stuff. We'll talk about Infinity stuff. Let me just get my next song ready. So I was on the release team for Infinity. So those initial charts, my first batch of charts for the game, they were written almost a decade and a half ago. So like well over a decade at this point. You learn a lot in 13 years of step charting. And the stuff that's in K-Pump right now is thankfully generally a lot better. Not much is left, but what's there is there. No, that's all good. But yeah, like Infinity is just, it's one of those things where it's like it's your first major project and you look back at it like, ugh. I'm pretty sure like all old step artists look at this now. Especially like the really prominent ones that helped shape Pump. They were just like, why the hell did I do this? We were gonna go to
New team. Difficulty zone level 13. Level 20.
But that
It is what it is. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm glad you enjoy it. Infinity is a very dated game, but it has some cool things about it. Make it worth at least checking out. Speaking of old things, that chart was a little less boring at the end.
Absolutely perfect!
So the skill level of players now, even compared to a decade ago, like the average skill level is very skewed, and players really jump into higher levels quickly, but there's a couple factors that kind of like play into that. Two, one, a lot of older things that were underrated were very much re-rated and rated higher usually. So things that felt hard back then were hard again. So there's that. Two, the general charting styles and metas have changed significantly since back then. And a lot of this stuff is very comfortable patterning, and there's less like really hard turning stuff. It's a lot more focused on straight runs and brackets. Now there are exceptions, of course. It depends on chart maker and what kind of charts they decide to do, but the general meta is that things are a lot more straightforward now compared to even a decade ago. What's up, Box? Yeah, pretty much that. Like, we say add 1.5, if not 2. It's just a very specific thing. Anyways, I have to try Papacito again, so let's get on that. Yeah, sometimes they're coming to the point where they're not interesting at all and don't really cause the players to like learn skill sets.
New tunes. Using difficult results here in zone.
Like I can think of many players who will like get in, especially if they're coming from other music games. They learn the straight stuff really quickly, get up to like 18s, 19s on single, and then you ask them to play like any 17 from the You Got series with turns, and they're completely lost. Like it's just that is a lot of the meta now, is learn how to play the straight things, how to bracket, and how to pattern manipulate. So you turn as little as possible. That's a lot of general meta. That's not everybody, but that's definitely what the game has skewed towards to in recent years. See, I don't mind Super Fantasy S16 being where it is because it's like, that's the baseline learning chart for doing streams. If anything, it's on the hard end. It's not my favorite, but it's a lot less boring than, say, God Mode 2.0. I know, that's not an excuse. That's not an excuse. Because anybody who's seen me play back in the day, I played on old pads. I had old pads from when I had a home cab. 2 home cabs, actually. You can definitely adjust your technique to bracket on old pads. I could play 26s on them. Like, you might have to do some fine-tuning to make sure the pad, like, works well. But you can bracket perfectly fine on old school pads with good technique. It is so much more technique than people realize. It was this cab. God, if I somehow did it on the GX, that would be amazing. Because God knows I had trouble doing these brackets on old pads just because the brackets were where my toes often were. But that's a me technique thing. That's not a pad specific thing. Okay, so we need to pay attention to the rhythms at the end. Like about this chart is that the choruses were very smartly made in all charts. I just wish the second verse was a little less boring because it's basically the same as the first. but with slight additions, which does kind of wear for how long it is.
Absolutely perfect!
Good to get that out of the way. Yeah, Box pretty much covered it, but it's more important
Next stage.
early on. Like, I don't know what level you're playing at, but it's more important early on to learn how the patterns work, how to turn them, how to do them legitimately first. Then, once you've built that foundation, now you can start learning how to manipulate them, because now you have options and you've recognized the pattern enough to know. I've seen a lot of players do nothing but manipulate turns and such, and then they play through all of singles this way and get stuck hard at like 22, 23, because there are parts where, unless you have really big feet, you will have to turn, because good luck doing uranium without turning. Like, good luck doing uranium without turning. If you're good enough to be able to like cheat uranium, you're probably already a really good player to begin with, where that doesn't apply. Hi, Shinji. So, I always try and emphasize, get the fundamentals first, know how every pattern is. If there's a pattern you don't know, learn it. Figure it out. It's like, that's the most important part. Yeah, if you're on S12s, then yeah, this is definitely the point where you want to do turns. 10s to 12s are great for learning eighth note turns and make you do a whole bunch of patterns. And a lot of people be like, just skip 12s, just go into 13s, start learning 16s. You can do that every once in a while, but my recommendation is get that practice in where you can.
12 stairs are slow enough to actually do them when you get to something like Crash Day. Yeah.
Well, you wouldn't do some of those stairs, but yeah. So yeah, if you're at that point, you're doing fine. And I will say, since like I'm not a super serious player anymore, if you have requests of like, hey, how do I play this chart? How do I play that chart? Let me know. I will gladly record some videos. I have a lot of from over the years, but if you need something specific for how to play a lower level chart, I will gladly take 2 minutes to record something. It's like, I'm in my mid-30s now, I'm not going to be able to play this forever, but I'd like to coach people and be able to be like, hey, here's some stuff that might help.
Cool song. Now, world music.
Yeah, so you kind of get the idea. But no, you're fine. You play it really hard. embarrassing place to lose it.
Is this really your bed?
Hi, I'm Morpher. Is that what you do with modding? We got Doom 64 Grandpa in the house. I'm sure he's got his ruler ready. Love you, man. Hope you're good. Yeah, so I actually do want to talk about that real quick. And we'll talk about it at the end of stream too. But Morpher will be with me on GDQ Hotfix on Friday night. We're actually going to be showcasing off Squibba's The Unmaking, which is a custom Doom 64 WOD that really pushes the engine in really cool ways. I don't know about that, but I wouldn't doubt it in some of the more toxic communities. The culture was very different, and I wouldn't doubt some assholes would probably do that. Now, official tournaments back then, you did, like, at least for male speed, you did have to play no bar for those. If you touched the bar, you did get a penalty, and if you held on for too long, you were disqualified. So, but outside of that, I don't know if that actually happened. I would imagine it probably did, knowing the culture back then, though.
You just take this off.
Yeah, but then it's a safety hazard if you need it. Like, because now you don't have it.
Scary.
I don't know what's worse, though, having no bar or having a bar that ends up bending, like, 70 degrees. I think I think bending is probably worse, because then you think it'll help you, and it is worse.
Having nobody, at least know there's nothing.
Yeah, at least you know there's nothing there, and you're not gonna, like, tap it over with your ass like I do.
Your behind feels very bare, though. Talking from experience.
Gosh, this is the most Morpher comment. The most Morpher comment. But sir, you will definitely be saving all that for Friday. So yeah, we're going to be showing the Unmaking. It's about a 2-hour run, roughly. Like, hopefully it won't be 2 hours. My practice run last night actually went okay. So, but I've got a big estimate just in case. Because it's very easy to die in that run. And lose lots of time. I can't believe that count as perfect. I'm gonna get karma so hard. I did the same thing, but in a completely different spot. I need to make sure I'm clearing the corner when I hit the center. I knew it. Like I said, I was gonna get Carmen. Got Carmen. So freaking Carmen. I think this is actually the last chart I need to do for this song too, which is pretty silly considering I did D23 like 2 years ago in a marathon. Yep. I have every other chart, just not this one. Maybe I'll get it after 1,000 years. No. He's supposed to be in his graveyard, but they dug this out 4.5 years later. Yeah, those of you not in the loop about the lore for this song, this was actually planned for Prime 1, and it was steps during that time. But they never ended up actually using it in Prime 1. And they eventually decided to bring it in for XX 2.0, I think. I've always guessed that they just didn't want to pay the licensing cost at the time, and they already had several sit-sound songs in the game. Because Step was the same way, but Step ended up getting released in Prime 2. For Papacito. Stay in your step grave.
Absolutely perfect!
Yeah, because when we had known about that list of sit-sound songs for a while during Prime, but it didn't get released. Like, the song didn't end up in Prime. So we asked HP about it at some point, and we talked like, hey, are these two sit-sound songs actually going to be like in the game? And he had long since stopped being a developer at this point. Like, it was already well over a year since he left. And he was like, maybe. I did one of them. So we knew there was content of his that just had not been released.
I don't think they made it any more fitness, so Ability is the last of his.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Even though it's old.
Yeah, old quote unquote. But yeah, so over 4 years after he had charted it, and he did most of the charts for the song, over 4 years later, the song was officially released in XX's 2.0 patch. And he was like, he updated his like Facebook chart list, and he was like, yeah, that's it, that's all I got. I'm done.
And then they added more stuff.
They added more old things.
Yeah.
To be fair, they were old. Because we had the new Crystal S for Dance With Me, and the I think it was. It's not Frost Melody. There is, because Kitty Cat was one of them. But I'm trying to think what was the Ugly D mission name. I can't remember.
I don't know.
Anyways, there was the Ugly D, what's now S17. So there's your lore for the day. A fun little lore dump. While I try and finish up these 20s because I'm lazy and just want exercise. We got a remix next. We got Fire Noodle. I feel like that's all I do is I play Pump History Nerd so much. Kind of ironic coming from a guy who's never played anything earlier than Exceed 1.
New series. Remix.
Alright, so Fire Noodle channel.
This is such a spike.
Yeah, it's spam patterns at the end. I definitely got a good number of stories. I've been playing this game since 2008, so I've seen a lot of things happen. I've heard a lot of things happen. thankfully I didn't get punished for it.
Absolutely perfect! Wow! New record!
So I will say explicitly, because I do work somewhat for Andamiro staff as like moderator for the server, I don't really encourage like mod talking. Like, you're free to do whatever you want in your own time. I just don't really want to like be involved in that kind of thing, especially since it's the game like I worked on. It's just one of those things that's like, if I was on my own, it'd be whatever usually, but as I do partially represent the company, I don't want to be associated with that kind of thing. Because I will say, there have been a lot of piracy-related incidents in the past for this series that have honestly actually hurt the game quite a bit, more than it's helped. The biggest one I can think of was in 2014 for Prime 1, due to a huge fiasco that happened with piracy. The Brazilian market was completely banned from official sales, and it did not get repaired until like a few years ago.
They had a huge community.
It was bad. It was very bad. So that's a big reason why, since the series is still active, we respect that.
We also lost some really good functions for a long while, like showcasing the score on site.
Yeah, there's things. Anyways, that's all I'll say on that. Only 1,750 plays though. That's a barely used machine. That's a deal right there. I'm glad you could find that.
I'm pretty sure our next had less than that.
It's still a deal. Like, this isn't drive. This is coin counter in the machine. That could include everything. 1,750 plays total. So that's quite a good deal. Let's see, sugar plums next. Now I will say I am happy that Andamiro did regional pricing for Steam game for Rise. That's really helped. I'm not gonna get there in time.
Difficulty zone level setting to level 20.
I'm probably not gonna get there in time. I have no. I'm just gonna let Hercules fail. You know what? I don't even need to do this. Let's just back out. Thankfully, scores save the moment you hit the results screen, so don't have to worry about that. There's that though. Like, there's a combination of things, but that is the biggest factor. Is the pretense of being efficient.
New teams. Difficulty
That was like the tipping point.
level 20.
The thing is, like, Andamiro definitely deserves some flack here and there for some of the not so great decisions they've made in some ways. But they still need to get paid, otherwise we don't have a game at all. Like, it's riding that line of, yes, they deserve that criticism, but if we still want a game to be made, we kind of have to give them that money so that the company's like, here's your freaking budget, because I would imagine Andamiro Korean management would be more than happy to shut this game down if it's not bringing in any money. It barely breaks even as is, and it makes good marketing for their other actual products that Andamiro sells. So I think that's like one of the biggest reasons why this game is not dead in the water, which is good for us because all of us are here. We enjoy this game to death. I love this game. What's up, Jack? I like this chart, but I haven't played it in a while. The ending's pretty hard for 20. good example, sir. That is a very good example. Because anything, especially if it involves profit and people will be greedy and try and get their money off of it, companies will absolutely get involved.
Next stage.
Now, do not mistake this for defending game companies blindly, because Nintendo definitely deserves a bunch of shit over all this, over their scene. Like, I really do think Nintendo is like the one company that hates its fans more than any other company. Because we had discussions about this with Melee recently in like friend server groups. And it's like, yeah, I know y'all love the game, but if Nintendo's actively trying to shut down your scene, I'd just be walking away and playing a different game at that rate. Like, there's billions of good games out there. I'd just pick one that, like, they're not trying to actively push you out of. Like, I can't imagine being like, oh, screw you, we don't care. Oh, that actually happened with Sonic Mania, like, at release. Bunch of skips were found early on. And the dev team patched a whole lot of those out. And the speedrunners were mad. They were just like, the devs were like, that's okay, you'll find new skips, you'll keep playing. Most of the scene just up and left. I'm kind of amazed Sonic Mania still has a scene with new runners, and thankfully the runs are still pretty solid and fun to watch. Yeah, we're lucky with the Doom community. Bless Kaiser being like, here, I'll make a command to give you guys your line def skips back. Bless Kaiser. Most devs will be indifferent, or will just actively try and tear you down, but Kaiser he is the GOAT for that. He really is. Ending to get through.
Absolutely perfect! Wow! New record! Next stage.
Good song, good church. You know, a lot of people really don't like that chart. And I don't understand, because I think this chart is perfectly fine. I can understand if having preferences towards 22, but I think this chart's perfectly fine and fun.
People don't like one side facing.
Sure they do. It's called singles.
But they facing forward and not sideways.
It's sideways if you turn the pad 90 degrees while they play it. Carmen bus. Speaking of runs. Speaking of runs. Yeah, go from one Nimgo to another Nimgo. Wait. Were these always on this side? I could have sworn these two songs were like further down the line in originals.
I don't remember. You play, I'll check.
I mean, like, do it on XX, so they feel
Yeah,
like.
I know.
Anyways. Carmels. Like, I swear they were like farther down the line. They were like close because they were added pretty late.
Absolutely perfect! Wow! New record! Next
I only wish
stage.
Carmen Bus was just less repetitive. Because the sound of it is good. Like, I like the sound and composition of it all. What's up?
Fortune flower was to the right from sugar plum.
Okay, it is.
Still scrolling. Blessing Content was in between percent X and Le Grand Rouge and to the left from Carmen Boss.
Okay.
That's what you wanted. Okay.
No, I wanted Sugar Plum.
I told you it was to the left from.
But was Saint-Quentin in between telling Fortune Flower and Sugar Plum?
No, it was
Okay.
way to the right. It
Okay.
was to the right from Iolite.
Okay.
They pretty much where they were in X6.
Okay. Alright. Guess I'm just misremembering.
No, they had some gaps where they could stuff some new originals, so even if it was
I like how they have a whole system just for filling gaps. It's very silly rather than just put them at the end, or better yet, alphabetize your shit.
TLDR
Like, thankfully Rise allows you to do that. That's so much better. So anyways, cleaner. Oh. I can't believe this is no longer the easiest 20. Forgot it's also late as hell. This one always just comes out at the very end. Force a habit to go to the middle.
Yep. I'm still there and on the right always.
Well, I don't remember that ever, because how often do I play this chart?
Absolutely perfect! Next stage.
Like, even in modern games, I didn't play it that often.
There's no reason to play it.
Sure there was. Experience and red points. Oh yeah, yeah, and Cleaner is like one of the worst offenders about that. Like, Cleaner's very late. Cleaner is very noticeably late. Like, whatever JT you normally play it, if you want to just not deal with it, just like put a -3 on whatever you normally use. And that'll probably fix it. Vacuum, you could probably get away with like -2, -1. It's not as late, but it's still kind of there. Let's see. You might want to cover your ears. Unfortunately, it's
Level to
Sorry,
level 19.
not that.
Difficulty zone level 10. Level 20.
The charts are fine.
I don't know, I didn't like double. Did one.
そこより要注意。見てみなさい。正解を見よ。
Wow.
Hey, is this really your best?
Yeah, 1949 is just a little late. It's thankfully not as bad as 50 is.
Game over.
Interestingly enough, I think 1948 is actually slightly early. But you're like so panicking on every chart in that song anyways, it doesn't matter that much. 1948 is legitimately so fun though. It is such a fun set of charts, even though it's painful as hell. Let's go this way. early.
Hey, is this really your best?
That was so early. I could see and I could feel it. I should probably play it through at least once just so I don't get tripped up by anything else. I forget how this goes. Last fucking note that I could have been. Damn it. Was just too early on that jump.
Absolutely perfect!
Damn it.
Next stage.
See, at least this ends like a song. Like, second period just like cuts out of nowhere. It's like, eh. This song in general is just so funny because it has probably my own highest personal ratio of hate the song to love the charts in the entire, if anything, in the entire game. Because I really do not like this song. I can tolerate first period at least. But the charts are very fun in their own perverted ways. Sometimes it's okay to let him go get drunk. He makes some goofy ass shit, and sometimes that's just what you need. Alright, let's not hit those jumps at the end too Okay, that's my fault. I felt that.
Hey, is this really your best?
We're gonna get this. We're gonna get it. It's not too hard. I just have to pay attention. I dropped something. I just don't know what I dropped.
Hey, is this really your best?
I would imagine I probably dropped like center, moving my toe up. Come on, yeah.
Really your best?
Come on. Let's take a small break. Just to kind of refocus.
Game over.
I haven't had lunch yet either, so how long have we been going? About an hour and a half. That's understandable, yeah. I like that chart still. It's dated, but it has good concepts and still holds up a little bit. The song is a song. It's Fate 1.
I don't like Final Illusions in general. I think 3 is like the best musically.
Well, I will get you to like them. I will make you understand. Alright, so we're going to try and play at least one more full set. And then I'm going to call for today. Because I have stuff tonight. And we will talk about that because RTA in Japan is going on right now. And I have a run that I will be commentating for in English. But we'll talk about that in like 10-15 minutes. 4:30. Yeah, it's about time for lunch, so let's play one last set and try and get this done. Yeah, I always feel like the moment I try and like cool myself down, I end up picking a whole bunch of stuff up. I'm really bad about that. have done that at the end.
Absolutely perfect! Wow! New record!
Okay. I still have to do overblow on Phoenix. Aye, is right. Alright, we'll take a few shots at it.
Next stage.
Now, thankfully, at least I don't have to worry about the sync because I can just put it on JT -5 and be happy. Oh man, that's gonna be rough. Oh, alright, well, we'll try and go for overblow and that'll be the end of stream.
New tunes. Difficult Zone 6 level challenge. Level 20.
Oh yeah, speed. Yeah, we're gonna have to suck it fast. Play it to the end. Always a hard drill to get at the end.
Absolutely perfect!
I think I had two in the middle, one at the end, one in the beginning. I can do it. I can do it again. It's not easy today, but I can do it. I'll keep the speed where it is for now. It is on the fast side. But I should be okay.
Next stage.
Just need to pay attention in the jump section because it's always the same foot for every four measures. That comes out of the course. This really was a BPM thing to do. Because he does it here, he does it in native. And there's probably at least a couple of other things where he did during the Fiesta era. Yeah, native does that.
Campus of Water also done that, but it's not BPM.
It's not BPMs.
And not Fiesta era.
I'm trying to think which chart that is.
S17.
Out of jumps?
Yeah.
I'll have to look at it. I'll have to see. I don't know what section that is.
It's the first hall.
Ugh. Alright. Come on.
Hey, is this really your best?
slow.
Hey, is this really your best?
I'm slow coming out of this drill. I need to like slam my foot back harder. Or do freaking foot switches, which are like the worst for me with shoes. Coming out of that 24 drill into 30 seconds. We'll try for a little longer.
Absolutely perfect!
It's funny, like, just due to the way this chart is structured, I'm most terrified of the first drill and the last drill. Those two are the hardest for me.
Game over!
Because the first drill, you have to slam your foot back immediately coming out. And the last drill is 24th into 32nd, which is scary. We'll try this a little bit more, but after that, definitely ready for some lunch.
Difficulty zone double. Difficulty zone level challenge. Level 20.
I think I skipped 2 entire taps in that
Hey,
drill.
is this really your
Yeah, I got
best?
to this on time at the cost of everything else. I'm skipping out.
Hey, is this really your
I need a
best?
full set of hits here. I'm skipping out on notes 7 and 8. Can't afford that. That's the hard part about grinding. Sometimes you get a little down. It's hard to break the mindset. Like I said, the
this
first is
really
the
your
worst.
best?
I wonder. Let's try this. I wonder. Let's try that. Just to see.
Hey, is
That
this
actually
really your
worked.
best?
There's no way that's gonna work on the other one though. But at least I can get out of the opening. That's so funny. That actually works. Okay, I wasn't paying attention there.
Hey,
I'm laughing too hard that worked. So I guess that's my new strap for that. We'll see how reliable it is.
new tunes. Difficulty zones level 10. Level 20.
Oh God, you're right. I still have to do that too. Problem is that that's actually the equivalent of 16-foot switches at 200. So this strap will not work. Okay, I guess that's my strat. Because it actually works.
Absolutely.
I'm pretty sure that actually works. But yeah, chicken wing shortcut is not going to happen with that strat. It's too fast.
You did full
No, I'm talking jacking. I'm talking jacking. Jacking's not. I did, but that was once, and I have literally not managed to get that technique to work a second time in the like 4 or 5 years since I did it.
I know, that's why I know you don't have it yet on the Phoenix.
Anyways, yeah, I guess that's gonna be my strat is jack and bracket that drill. I guess that's my strat. Oh, this is gonna be such a funny contrast with my XX video if I get it. Because I drilled everything in my XX video. And my old video. Below may be my least favorite in his Overbelow series, but at least it's still a decent song. I don't mind listening to it. Is that thunder?
Yes.
Jeez. That startled me.
Hey, is this really your best?
Well, so much for going for a swim today. Jeez, that is dark outside. Wow.
Hey,
All I have to do is
this
push
really
this
your
all the time, and I'm
best?
not even doing that. Even with this strat.
Hey, is this really your best?
It's fine, it's fine.
Game over.
We're gonna get this, I hope. Now that I know how I want to approach that beginning. Because I have to get my right foot out of the way in order to be able to bracket, so I'm adding an extra note.
New tunes, Civic Series Zone. Level 20.
I saw that.
Hey, is this really your best?
Need to be more confident on those up arrow drills. I'm honestly considering putting it on mirror just because I want the score only. Okay, I guess we'll take the weird approach and just play this on mirror. Just screw it on muscle memory. We're just gonna make everything down. I don't give a crap right now.
Absolutely
I've done this
perfect!
in the past.
Next stage.
I've done this in the past. I don't need to do it again. I've done it twice in the past, actually. So we're gonna lower our AV and turn on mirror. And hopefully we're not gonna screw ourselves up. Because I just realized something bad. Almost all the drills are now going to start on the left foot. So this might be a problem. We'll see. Let's find out. Let's see if it somehow helps. I don't know. I'm very much a muscle memory person, so... The muscle memory is so weird, but it is easier overall. It is easier overall. So I think I would rather just do it that way.
Absolutely perfect!
Yeah, I think I would just rather do it that way.
Next stage.
I'm amazed that was as good as it was for a first try on mirror, because I don't think I've ever tried this on mirror. And if I have, then I've completely forgotten. The hunger's definitely kicking in, so I definitely have to finish this fast, otherwise I'm not gonna have energy. It's 1 or 2 right at the end. Again.
Absolutely perfect! Next stage.
Oh, good. I'm here. Action. So loud. That thunder is going. We just have to go for it. Just have to go for it. I think that was 1. I'm pretty sure I saw 1 on that drill. Hard to say. Yep.
Absolutely perfect!
Alright. I actually do want to keep going on this. I thought I wouldn't have much energy, but I want to try one more set on this. Let me get some water. Water, and then we'll try one more set of this.
Game over!
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all can hear outside, but it's picking up in terms of thunder. It's only 5 o'clock, too.
Then pump it up! New series, difficulties, A series, go! Level 10, level 20.
make one more and then I'll be done. One more. And see, I wouldn't want to press my luck either, so we'll shut all the equipment down in here. Just to be sure. Alright, one last try. That's going to be it. That's it.
Hey, is this really your bed?
That's gonna be it then. Let me just shut it down. Alrighty, y'all. So, tonight, like I mentioned earlier, we do have something for RTA in Japan. I actually will be commentating Jagumba's Mega Man Battle Network 5 run tonight. It's like 3 a.m. Central Time roughly, but the schedule's been getting earlier and earlier. They're trying to put in backup games to kind of fill things out, so the schedule might vary by an hour. So if you want to check that out, kind of tune in like 2 hours before just to see where everything is. But I will definitely be commentating for Jagumba because he is an amazing person. He is a great guy, an amazing BN runner, having run every main game in the series and some. And I feel like I need to appropriately pay him back after he did above and beyond commentary for my network transmission run last winter. So we'll be doing that. And like I said, on Friday, I think 10 p.m. Eastern is when it's scheduled, I'll be on Parallel Universe, the GDQ Hotfix show, to show off the unmaking for Doom 64. And I will have both Squiba and Amorpha there, so that'll be fun. But in the meantime, I'm going to send it all over to the English restream for RTA in Japan. So go watch some cool runs. I'm going to bunker down, and hopefully nothing will explode here. I'll see y'all later. Thanks for watching.
Thì là cái tôi đây nghe